Hi, welcome to the DELIMITER podcast. In this episode, I had the pleasure of talking to Karlo, the vocalist and songwriter from the Croatian band Kryn. Kryn just released their second album, Risset, which I had the pleasure of mixing and producing, and this was the perfect opportunity to talk a bit more about the new album, the songwriting process, the new members who joined the band, and some details that most people might have not known about the band. Anyways, without further delay, Karlo from Kryn. That was the first gig in a long time, and you had new band members, and in general I couldn't make it, but how was it? How was the feeling for you being back on stage with Kryn and playing new songs?
Feeling was being back on stage was awesome, but I felt honestly really tired and exhausted because I just got over a flu like a couple of days ago. So I was thinking, okay, I can do it, no problem, because on the rehearsals I was fine and everything. But you surely know that the situation in the rehearsal and in the live situation is completely different. So I really was like tired. I couldn't get air enough. I couldn't, how do I say? I couldn't deliver as, normally. So it was a bit rough regarding my singing and being on stage. But as a band being on stage again, it was awesome, especially in front of the crowded place and with those cool guys. So it was, really, really an awesome, heartwarming experience.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm super sad that I couldn't make it, but I've seen one video, somebody posted a video of, I think, almost an entire song, and production-wise, it looked really sick. So I see you really went into light, sound, everything was there. So was that you usually, I remember I saw you a couple of times way before, and it was usually just whatever was there at the gig, right? So sound guy, light guy, it would never be just a dedicated person. So did you go all in on this one?
Sure, because you need to, climb a ladder that is above every time. So we did. We had our own sound guy. We had our own light guy. We even borrowed for now 2 smoke machines. We had light from Josip, who has his light, and he's having it with his own band, Grey Soul. So it was like I can say full package with amp covers, backdrops. So it was all in, and it was fucking awesome. Yeah, it really looked good, even though it was the first time with the sound guy, first time with the light technician, and it turned out really great. So we are satisfied for the first show after 2-3 years. Awesome.
I was following the stories that you had posted during the day, which were great, by the way. Is it true? Did you spend the whole day prepping at this, for the gig from morning at the venue and setting everything up?
Yeah, actually, we had a even crazier idea. We had a idea to. So the gig was on Thursday, and we had idea to come there on Wednesday. Sorry. Day before, to set everything up, do the pre-production, try everything up, because like I said, it was the first time for everybody. So the whole band was for the first time on stage. So it was, our thoughts were better be prepared than something happens on the live show that we don't want to. So but that idea didn't come to life because the club had a gig on Wednesday. So if we came there on Wednesday, we need to put everything up and then take everything down, and it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense. So we decided to come to the venue at 11 a.m. So from the 11 or 10, I don't remember. So from early mornings, we were there fixing everything up and trying everything. So it was a bit exhausting as well, but I think it's important to do stuff like that because you need to be prepared and especially when you have the light guy, sound guy, and the entire band on stage for the first time. So you need to be sure that everything will go as planned. And I think everything did go as planned. Surprisingly, nothing, didn't break or So everything went well. One moment was there where I didn't. So we have like two intermezzos in the set. So on the first intermezzo there is like a solo of Ante and Josip, where I go and change my clothes into the clothes I was wearing on the Nerve video. And after the Nerve, there's also intermezzo where I change back to the original clothes. And I missed the cue because I couldn't find the fucking shirt in the backstage. And I was yelling. And also we had Vigo, our camera guy. And I was like, I don't know, I had like 2 minutes to change over, and I was like, fuck, and the shirt fell somewhere, I don't know, behind the couch, and I was like, where's my shirt, where's my fucking shirt? And he was like, I don't know, and I had in monitors, and I heard the song start, and I was like, fuck, I cannot go naked on the stage, because no, and then I was like, fuck, where's the shirt, and there was... And I put it like, I don't know, in 1 millisecond. And also I didn't put everything I wanted back. I ran on stage and I was late on the first verse, but, you know, that's the first show, so...
At least you weren't naked, so...
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, that's good. I didn't... interesting that you mentioned it, like, did you rehearse that moment as well, like changing, or was that just I'm going to change when it's happening?
No, it should have been rehearsed, but it wasn't, because we were like on the rehearsal. So Josip is the main guy with the samples and with the technical stuff. He is like, you know, thank you God or whoever sending him to the band, because he's like awesome guy.
Oh, he's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and awesome player as well. And we were like on the rehearsal, we were like, okay, the solo will last 3 minutes. Is that okay for you to change? Yeah, no problem. And the changeover back again, it will be like, I can't remember, but I think it's like 2 minutes or... And I was like, yeah, sure, man. And I like, pretended like I was, changing clothes on the rehearsal. But like I said, live setup... Shit happens.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on. If that was the worst thing, then that was great. Luckily,
no. The worst thing were my vocals live, and yeah, I'm really hard on myself, and yeah, I really didn't, have enough air, enough support. I don't know why, because I think it's because of the flu, and I coughed like 3 weeks after the show. So yeah, it really got me, but it didn't. People told me that they couldn't, figure it out. It was all great, like live on stage. So we recorded everything. So we recorded each instrument, and we took a listen like after. So I don't like to do that because I'm so hard on myself. And when there's like an off note or something, I was like, oh man, no. But I can live with it now. Rijeka will be better.
I mean, I think that's like since we're all used to like everything being programmed, super overproduced. Yeah. I think those moments we get even harder on ourselves just because you hear something that in the studio you had 15 takes before you were like, oh, I like this take. That's the one we're going to use.
Sure.
And on a live situation, I think that's normal. And I think more and more people, especially on social media, on TikTok and stuff like that, they are kind of going away from that overly produced thing and even like it more when it's, like a video that's just, cell phone, you singing or you're playing, and that's even more interesting today rather than being overproduced. So I think people will appreciate that more when they see you live. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you should go on stage, be drunk, and be like, oh, and fall. So yeah.
No. I wasn't drunk. We started drinking before. We stopped drinking before the show, like way back, because you should. And regarding this, I agree with you, but I think your job is to deliver, properly. So, but okay. You have like bad days, good days. You have, you can be sick, you can be whatever. But it was great. It was okay. It's like amazing. Crowd reacted really, really great. Place was crowded. They bought a lot of merch. So Yeah, and the organizers told us that it was the best event, even better one, like from the early days of Good Vibrations and all that stuff. So it was better than our first promotion of Scars Remind Me there, and that's awesome.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's great words. I remember that one. So I just missed a couple of years, but I'll be on the next one, not in Rijeka, but hopefully. I saw you had some gigs in Germany or something, like festivals that are upcoming.
Yeah, we have we are confirmed for, I think it's called Wolfstiez Festival, and I really can't remember where it is in Germany. Somewhere in Germany, but it's cool. I saw I think yesterday I saw the Clawfinger are the main act, and there are a lot of bands I think to be announced soon, but okay, cool. So we are confirmed for Germany, that Wolfstiez Festival. We are confirmed for Alternativa Festival in Benkovac in Croatia, which is also a cool fest, and we are confirmed also for Rock Life Festival in Koprivnica. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's nice, and it's just the beginning of the year, so that means there will be
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We
cool,
are
cool.
negotiating about a couple of gigs, couple of festivals, and we will see.
Okay, that's awesome. Now I'm gonna kind of swivel into a different topic because this is actually something that's more maybe I'll say on a personal thing, because I remember back, like way back when I heard, I think it was the EP. That was the first thing that I heard when you released it way back. And that was, I think, before Mario reached out to you to do vocals for that Metallica cover or whatever, in between whatever happened. I don't recall the exact timeline. But I remember hearing, obviously, your vocals. That's the first thing that pops in. But it wasn't just the vocals. It was more of kind of the arrangement and the words, although it's always hard to understand the words in screaming. So it kind of, although I listen to metal and I can mostly understand, but sometimes you just don't understand all the words, which is fine. But there's like, I think if somebody would sum up like Kryn, I think the lyrical thing would be somewhere in the top 2 things or 3 things that the band kind of is. And that's not to diminish any of the music. It's just that there is, I think, a certain connection. And I know this is going to maybe sound a bit weird, that connects specifically to, I would say, like European people. Just because of maybe the way the melodies are structured, because they are more like, they are not like the typical, I would say, pop melodies. They have more like a
Blind Guardian feel.
yeah, something like it does have like I'm going to use the word folk, but you know that I don't mean like folk metal, but it has like a certain vibe that's like like a song that somebody would sing when they drink and they're like, oh, I'm happy or I'm sad, so I'm going to sing it. There's a certain vibe to it. And I feel like through the lyrics, and the best example is obviously while we were mixing the album, my girlfriend who's in the next room working on video, she started listening to it. And she's not a metalhead. She listens to EDM and stuff. And then she started listening to Kryn every day, even while it was unfinished. So she had the opportunity to listen to all the songs. And then she started listening to the old stuff. And that's when me and her just kind of got into a talk of like the main thing that hit her were the lyrics and the melodies. So I really want to kind of talk to you about the lyrics, because just by reading them, or even just by listening to them, they are very personal, and they're not like, I would call what they call today maybe throwaway lyrics, where it's like, oh, this sounds cool, so let's just add that. They are very, like, I think, thought out and personal, and that's when the chorus hits or something. One song, Hero, from the new album, that has like it makes you sad, and I don't mean that like in like a childish way. It makes you sad. Like I usually have that. It's like feeling nostalgia for something that you actually don't have nostalgia for. So it's kind of, I don't know how to explain that feeling. So I would like to kind of give you maybe the opportunity, or just at least give me and the viewers the opportunity, kind of what do you put into those lyrics, and how come, or what do you think is the main factor that they come out the way they are?
Okay, so a lot of things you
Yes,
said. First of all, thank you for the folk, thing. That's the first time I hear that the Kryn sounds a bit like folk, so it's nice. Okay, cool.
No. I
think,
didn't mean that like folk, like metal, but like folk. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like
a hearty, like crowd music melody or something. I don't know how to
I understand it. So I think off the topic just a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
I think you need to mention the audience that you and I are like know each other for like ages, and so yeah, we had a band together and we did lots of things. So yeah, so we know each other and we're good friends actually.
Yes.
Okay, so lyrics. When speaking about Hero, which is the work title. The song is called "When Heroes Fall." It's funny because with Kryn, I always write music first, and then the lyrics, and then first the music, then the melodies, and then the lyrics. And it's funny because the Hero. When Hero was like done arrangement wise, okay, the like working title of the song was Evergrey, because that I don't know why that intro pa pam pam pa pa pam pam reminded me of some Evergrey vibe. We are big fans of Evergrey, me and Marco especially, and that was the working title, and it had some. Even without the melodies and the lyrics, it had some like melancholic vibe to it, but not as much when I laid the melodies and the lyrics. So When Heroes Fall is written for my father, who passed away in 2012. So yeah, that's the vibe of the song. Like you said, sad, but I don't know, melancholic. I don't know how to express it. And like with every Kryn song, I always start with some people like to write the lyrics first and then put them into the song. I really don't like to work like that, because here's the thing. I want for the song to have I want to bring my emotion into it, okay? Mm-hmm. And I want the listener to connect to that emotion and to, just to connect, okay? And if I feel a little bit, how do I say, limited if I have written words and then I need to incorporate them into the structure of the verse, for example. So what I do, it's like people do it like this as well. I put the song, put the headphones, and I just mumble, I gibberish, I speak some gibberish or sing some gibberish words, but I need to, I want to find the melody, which like, I sing from the heart. I put on the verse, for example, hit record, and what first, comes up to me, this is what I record. So I record some, all kinds of melodies and all kinds of gibberish lyrics, and then when I like the melody, when it's like, that's it, then I like to, even from the gibberish words, because every syllable and every vowel sounds different when it's sang, okay? So I try with the words, I try to mimic the gibberish thing I just did. And sometimes it works really great and goes like, easy. Sometimes it's a little bit harder. But for example, I will switch to rewind, which for me it has like maybe one of the best choruses on the album. Maybe, because it's hard to pick. Always it's hard to pick the best song, but the chorus is like really strong and really emotional again. And fun fact: I was sitting at my desk at my workplace, and me and Marco had a chat about the song blah, and I was sitting waiting for my client. I had like literally like 10 minutes, and client comes, and I was like feet on the table, and I was like, and I just recorded that, and I was like, "Fuck, Marco, I have a really cool, melody for the chorus." And I sent to him immediately. He was like, "Yeah, that could work." And from that first, thing that came up to my head, the whole chorus. So I really like to do it that way. I really don't want to, over analyze, or no, what feels, first take, no first take, but what feels like inside it's correct, that goes to the album. If I explained it correctly.
Oh, I think you did. I think it. So that, but that's still like that just means that you like, because I think that's also similar to how we did it way back when we were writing vocals, or when I was writing vocals, since I can't sing, so I would just mumble stuff, and then the rhythm, if the rhythm fits or the melody, you're kind of like, oh, that's cool. But now let's find words that are not just random words, just because it's gonna be cool if I say I blah. You kind of want it to make sense. Yeah, you want it to make sense. But I feel like
also,
go ahead.
Yeah. Say it. And I have also another fun fact regarding and this is all. It's not really exclusive because I was speaking about it with the guy from Poland, but this is like exclusive information, and I have a plan to explain every song and meaning behind and how I came up with everything. So with Waters was like I had like, again, entire song written, and the chorus, I was listening to the chorus, and I don't know why. I think it's like some artists say that you are just like a conduit to some energy field, and you just convey something. I don't know. Out of nowhere, it came to me, Waters. I don't know why, but Waters. And I was like, come on, you cannot start the chorus with Waters. It's like stupid. And then it was like, what is the most similar to Waters? It's What Has. And then and from that, What Has, logical, ending was What Has Become of Me, blah, blah. And from that, the whole the whole chorus was done. And from the chorus, I took this Waters idea, and I wrote the song about, like river changes its flow. That's how man changes from, when he grows up, and he's not the same man he was like 5, 10, 2 years ago. So yeah, that's how the Waters idea came, just from the Waters. And I don't know why, but yeah, that's the universe. I think.
mean, that just confirms that you do have to, like, you put a lot of thought into what the lyrics will do, because for most metal bands, the lyrics are like the last thing. It's just about the rhythm and how aggressive it is. So sometimes it can be like just thinking of what sounds like Waters, rather than going, oh, Waters, I'm going to use just not that stupid, I'm going to use it. You kind of made it fit. So it's
and I'm still hard on myself because my like lyrical role models lyric wise are it's because of the coffee.
Yeah, of course.
Like Maynard from Tool and Chuck Schuldiner from Death, and when I read their lyrics, it's like, oh man, I write like stupid things, but I think I have improved from like previous Downfall era, then to first album, then now the second album, and I think the lyrics will be better as we make more music, and that's it.
I wouldn't worry too much. I think your lyrics are pretty dope. So
thank you.
But
Thank
that's
you so much.
That's just coming from me, so that doesn't matter that much.
You're like a sixth member of the band, so that's.
I'm hiding in the shadows.
You're biased.
Yes,
You're
I'm biased. Oh no! Full disclosure. Now I have to do the full disclosure. No, I have one question just before we switch up gears again. So, what is the meaning behind Addict, the shortening on the first album? Why was it? Or was it just looking cool? So you went like, I'm just gonna use this. This is cool.
Where did you pick this? Nice, cool. Obviously, it was like I always want to make things more interesting. Okay, and now when Addict was, in the making, I was like, okay, Addict, it's cool, team, you can understand the song as in a perspective of a junkie, drug addict, or it could be like Addict for of love, and every listener can interpret it in his own way. Okay, so I was like, Addict, okay, how to make this title a little bit more interesting? And of course we all know Adidas from Korn, which has okay, and I was like, okay, what if I do that? And then I put the dots, and I was like, okay, what the fuck now the Addict is gonna mean? And the Addict, there is I like to do these kind of things, and I also have something in Risset as well, where when you read the lyrics, you go, okay, that is this. Okay, so Addict means all dreams disappear in a certain time. That's
okay. I did not know
short,
that. And I didn't prepare that question. That question came up when you said previously that when you were writing Waters, or when Waters came, and you were like, Waters, what has? And I'm like, there has to be a meaning, or it's too random. It would just be too random if you were just like, it has no meaning. Although when I heard why Kryn is named Kryn in the podcast you did recently, I was kind of stumped. It was very like, I thought it was something, but it was nothing.
No, it was like hell. Just to get back to Addict. So in the lyrics you have I didn't listen to that song, like for ages. In the middle part, you have I don't know how it's going, but you have written all dreams disappear in a certain time, and
that's the singing. That's the singing part. The slow,
yeah. And I also did the dots in Bleak, which is like also one of my favorite songs. But in Bleak it's just the dots. Bleak is just Bleak.
You just want to make it really hard for people who have MP3s to rename their songs. That's the only thing.
Yeah. That's it. I wanted to do something like this. Wordplay, song title play on this album. So, for example, The Riven Heart is a song for my mother who passed away in 2014, 2 years after my father passed away, unfortunately. And if you look to the titles of the Riven Heart and When Heroes Fall, the Riven starts with the R, Heart it starts with H, and my mother's name was Rolanda Horvat, so it's like initials of her name. And in the booklet, on the cover of Riven Heart, the R and H are like in white, so it's separate colors. And also when Heroes Fall, when Heroes H fall F, my father's name was Franjo, so Franjo Horvat, so I put the initials in the song titles. And I just wanted to make something different and to, leave a mark forever. I don't know. So yeah, this is
it definitely, like, I think The Riven Heart, also a comment from my girlfriend when she first heard it the first time. She assumed that it was about losing a parent. So I think that people feel that immediately when they hear it. So again, that just like, not me being the sixth member trying to be biased, but I think that's something that goes through
intertwined.
It's intertwined with what you are kind of putting out there. And again, that's, I think, one of the things that made me initially, when I first heard any of your songs, that kind of made me gravitate towards the music, because it gave me, like you said, you can interpret it your own way. For example, Addict for me was more of like a love relationship that's kind of like a bed for you, but you're going back to it and stuff like that. So it kind of, I think it's very, it pulls you in. I don't know how else to put it. It just pulls you in, me specifically, and I really like the song. So like I think. Sorry, just to be a fanboy for a bit more.
No. I think that's sorry to interrupt you. I think that's the ultimate goal of the artist. That's it. Just to pull you in. There are a lot of ways, okay? Electric Cowboy does their thing, okay? And they pull you in. I don't know why I bring them up, but I know you like them. So
because Marco doesn't like them.
Yeah. So they do their own thing, and they pull people with this kind of music and expression or whatever, and we do this because I don't know, I'm that kind of guy, lyric wise and emotion wise, and I really want to express it, and to people people to connect to it. So that's, for me, that's the ultimate goal. And also I think you can make this possible when you're completely honest with yourself and with your music, and not just writing songs to make an album and making albums to, I don't know, put it out so you have like in the CV that you put an album out. No, we want to, first I want to express myself. I want to express all my negative emotions, all my, I don't know, the hell in my head, let it out. I want the music to follow it, and to be like a package, and that's it. I'm completely honest, with myself and with what I have to say. So I think that's the thing that people are recognizing and connecting to it.
So on what you just said, do you like, you mentioned negative emotions or negativity or whatever, like any feeling, is that like your main driver behind writing the music? Or like, because from personal experience, for me, the lyrical part, like the musical part, when I write riffs or whatever, it's never like I feel sad, so I'm writing a sad riff. It's more like, I play guitar, so that's why I write the riff. But when I write lyrics, it always has to be like, from for some reason, negativity. It can't be like, I can't imagine myself going like, oh, today was a great day, let me write some lyrics.
Shiny, sun is shining, and the sea is blue. So I think someone said, the pain is an ultimate inspiration, because you don't write songs when you're happy, when you're satisfied, when everything is great. You write songs when you're feeling down, bad, when things are not going like you want them to go, when you're, I don't know, broke up with your girlfriend, your wife, I don't know, the music is, for me, a way to express things I cannot express verbally, or sometimes things I cannot say to a person, or I don't know. So it's a means of expression, and who knows? For now, since I started writing, and this is like really interesting, because, and I was like, now we're going deep now. I was, talking with my therapist with that as well. Why do I always, when I started writing music, I always started writing lyrics with, a lot of negativity, dark lyrics, whatever, feeling sad, lonely. And when I recall my childhood, for example, everything was like fine and perfect, but it goes really deep, because it's something that you inherit from your mother, especially even when you're like a 1-year-old. So it's something like emotions from when you even can't recall that you're a baby. It's something inside, and it just goes out. I don't know why it still goes out. I don't know, maybe on the 3rd or 4th album I will start singing about happy hippos, I don't know. But think not, probably. So and I think also a lot of this is connected to the first band that got you into music. Okay, so the first riff you heard, the first vocal you heard, and I think that leaves a mark as well. But it's a really cool discussion. Okay, bear with me.
I'm not.
So why someone gets triggered like, oh, this is awesome, when he hears harsh vocals, screaming, growling. For some, this is like, oh, this is awesome, wow, yeah, I feel it. And for someone, it's like, oh, turn it out, I cannot stand it. Why? Do you have an opinion on this?
I don't like. I can't hear music, or I can't remember hearing music with harsh vocals. Although I can, when I thought it was horrible. That was the first Slipknot album when I heard it, and I was already listening to metal, and I was listening to Korn. But when I heard the first Slipknot, I was like, "This is horrible. I can't listen to this."
Really?
2 months later, I was only listening to that. So I had a period when everything I heard for the first time, and it was completely different. Pantera, Machine Head, Fear Factory. First time hearing it was, "This is horrible," because it's so different. I can't. And then a week or 2 weeks later, I'm like, "This is the best thing ever." However, on the screaming part, so there's a saying that you remember Matija, the vocalist from Machine, Matija Jelic.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him in an interview. We did an interview way back, and somebody was like, with a question that kind of seemed silly, but it's not silly. They were like, why are you screaming? Like, why don't you talk about feelings and stuff? And he was like, what do you mean feelings? Like, isn't anger an emotion? And I'm angry all the time. That's why I'm screaming. And I was like, that's a perfect answer.
And how I look on screaming, I look at is just like another tool of expression. That's it. So I don't write when I write for Kryn lyrics and melodies. I don't go when I have a song. Okay, the verse is going to be screaming, and then the pre-chorus is going to be harsh, and then the chorus is going to be clean, and then the verse again screams. No, that's not the approach, because screaming, like Matija said, it's like, how can you better express anger and frustration than by screaming, for example? I think there's no better way. So
I hate you.
It's like, yeah. So, and that's why people don't trust those bands who say, "Oh, I hate you," because it's fake. I don't know. Okay, so screaming is just another. Like a painter who has a lot of colors and a lot of brush sizes. That's the goal also of a good vocalist for me, for my point of view. Sorry, it's that the vocalist can do clean singing, like really like pop singing, that he can do harsh vocals, that he can do screams. So it's just a way of how to express your feelings and what you want to say in the song. And regarding the early days, you mentioned Slipknot. So my first band I have a younger cousin, he's older than me 5 years, and he was like a big role model when I was little. His name is Slaven, cheers to Slaven. And I was like trying to copy him, and first I was like into hip-hop, rap, and all that.
Same.
Yeah, and I think that's good lyric-wise, because I know the entire House of Pain album, I can, sing it like this. So I remembered I tried to remember the lyrics, and I tried to sing them. So I think maybe it did something to my voice. I don't know. And then he gave me Korn, Follow the Leader. And that is when my life completely changed. So I was like going to guitar lessons, okay?
Yeah.
So I was starting with, classical music, blam, blam, blim, blim, blim. And when he gave me Korn and I put it on, I was like, what the fuck is this? Heavy guitars, Jonathan's voice. And I was like, okay, I want to do this. That's it. So from that point on, I was like at home with the broomstick, trying to, imitate Jonathan, trying to copy his voice. And I was just screaming, in my house. And then I told my guitar instructor, sorry, I don't want to play classical music. And I need 7 strings. I remembered I gave him Slipknot, and I told him, can you please, learn this song so you can write it, how to play it. And the week, and I literally gave him Slipknot. And the week after, he was like, and I asked him, did you transcribe the song? And he was like, man, don't ever bring me this shit no more. This is not music. This is they just play like, and I was like, okay, but I want to do that. So I quit my guitar lessons, which I'm not proud of. I would really love if I had some musical background. I don't know shit about music, like writing notes or polyrhythms. Or no, I just write riffs, what I feel. So yeah, from that moment on, when I heard Korn, I was like, this is what I want to do. And I remember I did a cover of that part, It's On song, when Jonathan goes from like really like feminine voice to whispering to harsh to screams. I was like, this must be an effect. So back then I didn't think it was possible to to make that sound from a human voice, and I was like, this needs to be an effect. And then I got into Korn, and then I met my friends, still friends, Marco, one of those guys who I met in like when I was 14, 15, and they were like into Iron Maiden. So I was like into Iron Maiden. I was trying to copy Bruce Dickinson. Then I got into Blind Guardian. I tried to copy Hansi. Then I got into Children of Bodom, melodic death metal, and then I tried to copy Alexi. So I think you develop your own voice, your own style. At first, trying to copy your idols, and then over time you develop something of your own, which of course can resemble some of your idols. But the goal is to make your own expression in your own voice. So yeah, this is the story about me and my influences.
Which was not the question. I'm joking. No, I forgot
the question.
It's perfectly fine. I have a couple of follow-up questions on this. So the interesting thing is, So Follow the Leader, that was my first album I ever bought, because I thought Blind was on it. I heard Blind as the ending song in Street Fighter, the animated movie. That was the ending credit song when he jumps towards Bison and goes, "Oh, are you ready?" And I was like, and I was at home. I'm like, "Oh my God, what is this?
What the fuck?"
I'm running to the CD store. Never were in my life in a CD store, and I bought Follow the Leader. And I came home. I put it in the CD player. And the first 13 tracks, I don't know if you had the original CD, were empty. And I was like, what is happening?
Okay, now, pause.
Yes.
This album and this thing of 30 songs being silent stuck into my mind. And that's why I always try to do something, funny with the album's dots on the songs, name. That is like, that album, I listened it like, I don't know, like, millions of times, and it got really stuck into my brain, in my nervous system. So yeah, that's the reason why I do what I do. So continue. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's perfectly fine. That's what I want to say. So that album, like it also same, like I don't know, that's still, I mean, that's my most influential album, not for the music I created, but for me, because I did hear, like I was, like you said, hip hop, and I was listening to Backstreet Boys, whatever, the German, because I was in Germany back then. I was listening to all of that. And then one day my cousin came to visit from Croatia, and he brought like a cassette tape with Reload on it. And I heard Memory Remains, and then, which Marianne Faithfull, or is it Marianne Faithfull? She passed away, I think, last week or something. The woman who sings on the chorus of Memory Remains.
I have no idea.
And he was like, "Oh, that's Kirk singing," because he didn't know as well. So that's Kirk, and I'm like, this is horrible. Like I'm listening to I don't know, Dutch GABA music and Backstreet Boys and crap like that. And I'm like, this is horrible. He left the cassette, and I heard it. And then, like I said, I bought Korn, and all those details. Like there are so many details back in the day input into the booklets. Like I loved booklets, opening them up, seeing all the small details like of the lyrics, handwritten stuff. Metallica had it as well. And on Follow the Leader, there's one song that's hidden, right? It's the Earache My Eye, which is with the... So how did you find that song? Did you know? You know that's like a cover version of the movie song that Cheech and Chong do? So Cheech is actually on the song as well.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. So okay, cool.
He's like,
I know that this guy is on the song, but I didn't know the movie connection.
So I didn't know that was on the album for, I think, 2 years, and I had the CD. Because I didn't have a PC, you didn't know, right? You would stop. Yeah, so I didn't. And basically one day I fell asleep. And in the middle of... I was just like, what's going on? He would just start, nah. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. I think something similar happened to me. I was like listening for My Gift to You, the last song, and I know I did something different, other, and something was like, and then they're going starting with
I think it's
farting
Fred
and
Durst.
something like this.
Yeah, Fred Durst and I think they're smoking or something, and they're talking about something stupid. Yeah.
And on that song, I think the Jonathan is playing drums.
Yes, or maybe, or is it Head? Somebody, no, Jonathan. I think there's a video of it.
Jonathan is playing drums, and cool fun facts. And I love the fact that they back then started doing these kinds of stuff, like first 13 songs silent. It's like a brilliant idea, but it's annoying. Like you need to go. Blah, 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 blah.
It was very annoying, for sure. Cool. Before we stop on that album, what's your favorite track on that album?
Freak on a Leash. And I love every single song. The really great part about this album, production-wise, is when I listen it to the with the headphones, like 10 times listening to the album, every time I hear something, some effect, guitar effect pedal doing something that I didn't hear before. So like every listening is like a new experience, literally. And I don't know why something takes a part of me, is like, engraved into my persona. I don't know why. I just clicked with the chorus. And I remember back then, me and my friend, my neighbor, who was like living 2 blocks away, he would, when I was like home alone, he would come into my house, and we had like a broken acoustic guitars, like with one string. And I remember I have a picture somewhere of that. And I remember I had a rope, like a fucking stupid rope, like as a strap.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't know how to play back then, nothing, or at least I did my classical shit, and we were like jamming the song, and I was like, getting all of my energy out. I was like sweating, couldn't breathe normally after when the song finished, so we were like killing it in my, living room. So I don't know what happened, but that song is like, that song got me into everything I do now. And that album, of course, every song on this album is like, for me, it's great.
Yeah, man. Like,
thank you, Korn.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I just listened to that album, I think 2 days ago or something. I literally listen to it every now and again. Like you said, the production thing, it's really weird because there's always something, although I know it by heart, I know every like vocal line, everything, and it's like, it's just so layered, and that's what I really appreciate about it. Although I like the other albums as well, but
yeah, of course. If somebody asks me, okay, we are doing a Korn cover, can you sing? Right away. I know everything without I didn't follow when I discovered Korn, literally. So first I was in Beastie Boys, hip hop. So we had like one record store in Rijeka. Every time when a new Beastie Boys album dropped into the store, I bought it. And the Korn was like, I was literally going to the music store and I was asking, do you have anything by Korn new? So I was buying calendars, albums. I don't know. Back then, the merch was like kind of scarce, so you had just albums, T-shirts, and maybe calendars was the thing that. So everything from Korn I was buying. So and that I was like a freak, So yeah. I don't know what was the question.
It's fine. No, we're just talking about the album. No, it's. I definitely agree. Like that's, yeah. It's one of those things that stayed, obviously, both with
First you and me. First four albums are like the, how do you say, milestone of. I don't like the term new metal because I associate new metal to, I don't know, some maybe a little more, weaker bands, or I don't know, but it's like a milestone in music in general because they really did invent a new style, new approach, and I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't say that they are necessarily new metal because I think nothing sounds like Korn. Korn sounds too much like Korn.
Yeah, and fun fact regarding that. So I started, of course, back then I had a 6-string electric guitar. and I remember Rade, former guitar player, unfortunately, who he was the one.
Not former, like he didn't die. He's just left the band.
No, he's not in the band.
Yeah,
sorry.
it sounded like unfortunate.
Yeah, no. He's alive.
Shout out to Rade.
Yeah. So he called me and asked me, "Oh, do you play?" Because Rade and Igor were like having their garage and trying to form a band, and they needed a bass player, okay, and a guitarist. So they got the number from Marco's number from. Also a mutual friend back then, Marko Kovacic. Shout out to Marko Kovacic, who is now a personal trainer.
He's huge, humongous.
And he's huge, yeah. He's a metalhead. So he gave Rade Marco's number, and Marco said to Rade, "Okay, I have my friend who's a really good guitarist, blah blah blah." So that's when Rade called me, and I remember just like it was today. He asked me, "Oh, do you know about, when you tune down the 6 strings, so you can have like a riff not playing like this," and like, we didn't know what was this, how is it called, because we were like 14, 15 years old, and I'm talking about 2002, 1, I don't know. So I was like, yeah, I tried to, figure something new sounds, whatever, and we were like really hyped. And then we got together, started playing. Back then we were like in real melodic death metal influence heavily because of my Children of Bodom obsession and Marcos as well. So we were like trying to copy them, okay, but I'm not like a 5% pro player of what Alexi was, so we were like a solid copy, whatever. And then as we like wanted to evolve, me and Rade was like, why don't we start to play 7 strings? And I was like, okay, Korn, yes. And Rade back then was in Nevermore, so Nevermore also has 7 strings. And we're like, okay, let's buy fucking 7 strings. And it was like way back then. I think we were the first, people in Rijeka who had 7-string guitars. Here it is.
That's the one, yeah.
That's the one. Schecter Blackjack, and still works fucking great. Because of Korn, 7-string guitars, emotion, obviously, harsh vocals, obviously, but the vocals were influenced also a lot of with the harsh vocals. Tom from Evergrey, definitely. Hansi from Blind Guardian. I remember, blasting my stereo and trying to hit those highs from Blind Guardian.
Favorite Blind Guardian song, quick. Favorite Blind Guardian song.
The entire. My brain is wait. Nightfall in Middle Earth.
Okay.
I love that album. Bright Eyes. Summer Far Beyond. I don't know. I need to pick my favorite.
Yes.
I really don't know. It's hard.
If you were to play me, I listen to Blind Guardian as well. If you were to play me something and go like, this is the best song they have, which one would you play?
Fuck.
Too many options.
Too many options.
Yeah.
Because every song has I remember blasting the Bart song past part 2. So not the Bart song we all know, blah blah blah, but the Bart song part 2 is like this song, I don't know, it also has something that triggers me. So the Thorn from Nightfall in Middle Earth.
Okay,
now
we'll leave that one for the 6th. Yeah,
but we can skip to another fun fact regarding the Nerve and Blind Guardian. Are you interested?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
What do I not know about that song? Come on. Are some of the vocals not you? It's Hansi.
Actually, I met Hansi when I was playing at the Rock Hearts Festival with some other band. I did a guest spot on vocals. And the Blind Guardian was they were headliners, and I had a chance to go to their tents and to meet Hansi, and we talked about singing, and I asked him, can you hit those high notes? Because he's obviously really, trying to preserve his voice live. And he said, yeah, man, I can, but I do not want to push it live because he needs to sing like every other day. And he still practices. This is what amazed me. And really, he's a really cool, humble, and down-to-earth guy. And I forgot to ask him when I talked to him, but when I came home, I sent to his manager or something like that mail, and I wanted Hansi to sing on When Heroes Fall. And I sent him the lyrics and the song, and unfortunately he didn't reply. But that would be a cool combination for that song because it has an epic vibe. So yeah, maybe on the third album, who knows?
You never know. Maybe you'll play with him in a festival in Germany, and then he can join on stage. That would be crazy.
Yeah, Guardian are playing in Zagreb actually on summer, and maybe we'll try to sneak in as a support act. We will see. That would be cool.
That would be
because
great.
Marco is also a really great big fan of Blind Guardian, and I don't know why people, maybe because of the theme of the lyrics, people think that it's like a geek music or nerdy. I don't understand. It's like
I think I can give you a bit of an explanation. I was growing up in Germany, and all of my friends, I was listening to new metal, and all of my friends were listening to power metal, which was then, Blind Guardian, Stratovarius, Hammerfall.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the problem is Blind Guardian is one of the bands that didn't go I would say like their lyrics might be, Middle Earth, whatever, but they didn't go down the cheesy route. Like the music didn't sound cheesy. Even with the acoustic stuff. But then when you compare it to like Hammerfall, and you're like, because when you hear Hammerfall, like, yeah, this sounds very cheesy, at least in my humble opinion. Exactly. And then you see the video and you're like, oh God. And when I heard Mirror Mirror, I was like, this is amazing. Like this is crazy. This is not comparable to Hammerfall. Yeah. Come on. So I think that's maybe why they get labeled as like geek music, because they kind of fill that power metal genre, so they're kind of like, fantasy power, that's why they sound like that. But it's not true.
Great explanation. Marco had a Hammerfall hoodie, so I think in short period of time, I think I remember, because it's really wild. Back then, it was like the moment of the week for me and him to go to Opatija, which is a town nearby, and they had like a we call it panchera. It's like where they sell original,
counterfeit.
Then it's counterfeit shirts, okay?
Yeah.
And they had like everything: Blind Guardian, Hammerfall, Children of Bodom, whatever. And we were like, oh, let's buy everything, because we were so like into metal. And he bought. I think he bought. He had Blind Guardian shirt, that's for sure. Hoodie, I remember, and a Hammerfall definitely. So, Marco, Hearts on Fire, and I think. Yeah, we were messing up with that with that song on rehearsals way back then. I can't remember. Maybe I think we did like some covers. I can't remember.
Okay, so wait.
Ages ago.
Could it be that you're gonna release a cover of Hearts on Fire by Kryn?
No,
okay.
No. But with screams, go Hearts on Fire. Okay.
Please
next question.
Next question. Please don't. The next question is please don't. No,
please don't. Yeah.
Basically, we did talk about the lyrics and everything. So now that you have new members in the band, so far most of the things were written by you or composed by you, because you're the main songwriter. Obviously, I know that there are ideas that came from others and songs from others, but you were the main songwriter. Was it like, and I don't want to, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. So Kryn writes music in a very slow pace. Is it because it was always on you to do everything, or is it like just in general? Because for myself, I'm the same. Like I might have 50 riffs written, but to complete the song, it takes years. So do you hope like with the new band members, or is the plan like being more frequent with the music, or do you think it will also take like a longer period to complete new stuff?
It won't. And we need to stop that because the part of this is because of until now I did everything on my own, so and I sometimes lack of discipline, okay, and always artists like, I don't have inspiration, and I have, which you can obviously hear in my lyrics, I have ups and downs, okay, so when the downs hit, I'm like, I don't want to do anything, I don't like anything, I am, gone, so it's hard to maintain the energy flow, and the consistency when you have some issues like that. But from now on, and I feel really bad because like you said, we had pretty much all the songs done, all the arrangements done. We did change couple of songs. We can talk about that later if you want. But I feel bad because both Ante and Josip are exceptional guitarists. They're like way better than I am. For the first time in the history of the band, and I really can't wait for them to bring their inputs to the band, and definitely the process will be much faster. To prove that, we have a cover in the making, which is like as we speak, I think Josip is doing the arrangements. So
don't say what it is. Don't say what it is.
I won't. Yeah. So we have a new cover in the making, and it's pretty much arrangement wise, it's pretty much done. So we are like hyped. I'm hyped for Kryn 3 because I really don't know what will it sound like, because Ante is like a crazy dude guitar wise, Josip as well, and when 4 or 5 of us with rock on drums, I want to write third album with 4 or 5 of us in the same room, going through ideas, or somebody does a riff, okay, send it to, because we all live in a separate cities. I want it to be, a mutual thing, a mutual effort, and it will sound weird as fuck because they can do all kinds of crazy stuff with the guitars, which I can't, because I consider myself a good rhythm guitar player and a good writer, but I have my limits. So these two guys are going to bring that level even more up. So we didn't start to promote the Risset, but I'm so hyped about the third album, and we can't wait to start writing. Okay, but we need to play some shows. That would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, you write in between. Shows are for fun now because now everything's out. So on that point, on Ante and Josip, so maybe if we can touch up on that for a bit. I was kind of surprised. Sure. I remember seeing Ante, Mario Kubert. He sent me a video way before, I think 2 years ago or something, where he was like, "Oh, this guy! Look at this guy. He's from, I think." I don't remember where he's originally from, but he's from somewhere. Look, he's playing Animals as Leaders stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? And I saw the video, I'm like, this is amazing. And I saw he's connected to Ivan Mihaljevic, like I think they were working together on something. And I'm like, okay, cool, but I don't know the guy. This is great, this is amazing. And then one day you're like, oh, Ante is playing in Kryn. I'm like, what?
Here's the story. Here's the story behind that. It was literally like this. We had So Rock was in the Rock. He has a really cool name for English variation.
Well, let's just call him Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne. Dwayne Dibley. Okay, so we rehearsed at the rehearsal space in Rijeka, and we had a drummer back then. I don't know, I don't know who was the drummer before Rock. I think... okay, never mind. And we were jamming Elshif. I think Elshif Čorović.
That's the guy from the Risset video, right?
No, the Risset video is the one and only Dušan Kryns from Two Cellos. He was also a part. And Elchef was a guy who played. We played when Corona was like spreading. There was a Re-Rock edition. It's a festival, Rijeka, festival that is going like for I don't know how many 40 years. The Re-Rock festival, and we played there. I think as a guest. And it was played live, but it was recorded and streaming on television. And Elchef was playing, and he did a great job. I think he was before. My mind is fucking. But nevertheless,
Too much coffee.
Sorry.
Too much coffee.
Too much coffee. Yeah. We were in the rehearsal space, and right in the space next to ours was Rock with his band. Back then,
Mammoth?
Mammoth, yes, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, and we made a break, and Rock was started to play Silvera from Gojira, and I was like, okay, this guy has some skills, and I immediately find who that was, ask him, he said yes, ta-da, and Ante story. So we were playing with Rock already, and we had Dario Pajanin, aka Borut, from the band called Father from Rijeka, who was a really great, and we said that on the podcast of Paure Torture. We said it and we will say it again. A great fucking band. Too bad they split up. They had really great music. Also, they inspired us to play. So he was a guitarist in Kryn for a couple of years, substitute live guitarist. And
he played Vaken with you as well, right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. And since Rade left the band, we were, trying to find somebody. And then our friend Alan Brentini, who is a great guitarist, also tried to hop on the train. But things didn't work out because he's a little bit different style. He plays a little bit different style of music. In metal you have to be tight, and okay, it didn't work out. It's just not that bad. So I came home and I was like really frustrated because I really want this to work. And I was like, oh man, we will never find the guitarist. And in that exact moment, Dino Yellowstick, shout out to Dino, is sharing Ante with his thumping, crazy stuff. And I was like literally holding my phone. Who is this guy and where does he live? And I Googled immediately and saw he did some Keith Merrow's covers. So we were like big fan of Keith Merrow back then and all those Periphery, Tesseract, Cloud Kicker thing. And I immediately contacted him and I didn't say Kryn because I don't want, do you want to play Kryn? No, I spoke to him. Hey man, you're really a killer. Do you want to play in a metal band? And he responded, do you mean Kryn? And I said, yes, I'm in. So this is literally, it was the day I came back from a rehearsal. We all were frustrated because it didn't work. And Dino shares his Instagram, blah, blah, and I, text him and he said yes, and that's it. And he's really, that is okay. When you're in a band, you really need to play good because if your music is, asking for you to be good at your instrument, you need to be good at your instrument. But when you're in a band, it's like a marriage. It's like a family. You need to be a good person. The band needs to have a good vibes. And with Ante, Josip, and Rock, the vibe is like really cool, really great. They are fun. They're like great musicians, and it's really. We are having our rehearsals in Zagreb, which is like a half an hour drive for me and Marco, and we usually have rehearsals at 9 a.m. weekends, Sunday, Saturday, because it fits the schedule of the other guys. And I go to the rehearsal with the smile on my face, with I'm going on a vacation because the energy is so cool. And big shout out to the rest of the band and to the other guys because they are awesome, and I want to thank them for joining this wild ride.
Before you thank them, Josip, how did he join the band?
Yes. Okay, Josip. So Now, when we got Ante, the band was me, Marco, okay, and Rock on the drums, Ante guitars, and Borut on the guitars as well. And Borut is really a great guitarist and also a great singer. So Borut can play like anything from Kryn, and he can sing like backing vocals, lead whatever. So he's like really good in harmonies, and he was like one of the songwriters for their band Father. So he wrote some amazing songs, and they wrote some amazing songs. So he's like a really good guitar player. But the downside is that he didn't want to be involved in the band like as full time. He just wanted to play the guitar, and he wanted to play live, and that was okay. But I wanted, and Marco as well, we wanted, a band, 5 members, like committed, they with the same idea, with the same energy, with the same I'm missing a word, but force, vision. Yes, that's right, vision. And the Borut was like really more into, okay, I want to play live, but I don't want to be in a band, and that's it. So, unfortunately, we decided to find another guitarist, and I don't know how I came. I think the Grey Soul, which is the band of Josip's band, they released, I think, video was single, I don't know, but I remember this band way before when they were called Core System, and I remember that they were like sounding like Cybrid, which is one of influences back then also for me and Marco. And I don't know how I get to that band, but I saw the band. I didn't go straight for the guitarist. I just saw the band, and the music was like, whoa, this is modern, heavy. I saw the bassist like doing some crazy stuff, and I knew the singer. So I was like, wow, this music is cool. Let's see who is the guitarist. And then I saw Josip doing like this with the hair, and he looked interesting, and I asked him. So I'm the guy who is sending mails. Do you want to play with my band? So he, in our, we're lucky that the band, that Kryn exists like too much on the scene, and we are known by the people. So he knew about Kryn, of course, and he was like eager to join, and I thank him as well for that, because if Josip was not around, there will be no promotion, there will be no in-ear monitoring, there will be no anything, because he's the guy. We call him we mess around with him and saying that he has he's literally the Toman guy, because everything that we need he owns, and he knows how to program, and he knows everything regarding light, music recording, click tracks, everything. So
he's the Swiss Army guy knife.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So all guys are great. Rock as well. So Rock is the first new member in the band, and yeah, I'm really can't wait to see and hear what the third album will sound like.
So it will be a surprise for you as much as for the fans.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to touch a bit back on the album. I know that I'm going back and forth between topics, but that doesn't matter.
Okay.
After so much coffee, it's fine.
This podcast is really like, how do you say? On the fly.
Yes.
Chat.
Yes.
And that's cool.
So there's obviously me. First, I'm going to share a moment where I felt really stupid, which is I didn't realize that the ending, that the melody in Rewind is similar to the melody in Risset, because that was the idea. And one day I was like, this sounds so similar to something I've heard. And I'm like,
I have a story as well.
Yes, you will tell me that story right now, but I just want to share, like, that was really, how stupid can I be mixing the song for so long and then just going, this sounds similar to Risset. And I'm like, oh God, okay, I'm an idiot. But yeah, what is like, you touched upon this in the other interview, or sorry, in the other podcast. But what was the idea? Because you also have like a theme going on this album, I wouldn't say like it, I wouldn't say it's like a conceptual album, but it has a theme.
No.
It has a start and an end. So if you could kind of, let me know and others what was the idea behind that. Yeah, exactly.
So you are not stupid. I'm stupid because I wrote a song starting with the same melodies as Risset, and I didn't know about it. So
okay.
I think
Salvation.
Yeah, I'm the stupid one because I was like and it was like, okay, cool intro. I just bought the Neural DSP Abassi thing, the plugin, and the working title of that song was Abassi because I just tried out the new settings, and we did some rough arrangements, and I always send my songs to, I think it was my friend Marko Radošević, called Shevo, who is my one of the best friends, and he's cool. I don't know how to say it. Never mind. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, whatever.
Sure. Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So I always, when I write something, when I record something, I always send, because he's really like harsh, straight, and I think it was him. I cannot remember. And either way, so the song was done, pretty much all the arrangement, and I was like, it's cool. And somebody told me, I think it was him, do you know that these are the same notes as the Risset? And I was like, oh fuck, man. I just did it because obviously it's. And by the way, that Risset intro, I think are the same notes as Falling Away From Me. Yeah.
So okay. Everything's connected.
I'm a huge copycat.
See, so you went from copying Korn to copying yourself. That's okay.
Yes, that's it. Also, we need to revise the Nerve chorus in Black Guardian. Remember that? I wanted to tell you about this story.
Oh, you can tell it right now if you want to.
Yeah. So if you play Blind Guardian song Blood Tears. So we did the Nerve, okay? We did the Nerve, everything was done, the arrangements, and I was doing vocals, and I had a couple of versions, of course, and one version, the current one, just, stuck with me. It felt good, and it had, emotion, vibe, it clicked, okay. And I recorded it, and I'm playing, and I was like, damn, this sounds a little bit familiar. And I was thinking, and just fuck. So if you listen to Blood Tears from Blind Guardian on Nightfall in Middle Earth, it goes, I think, and blood tears I cry, and the scream remain inside. And the Nerve goes, dum 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 dum, da 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 da. So it is a lot similar. And I was like, when I found out, I was like, fuck, man. And I sent it to Marko Shevo, because he's the one, for example, he's the one who told me, Reminder song, okay? Yeah. The main chorus melody. Now go and play Queen featuring David Bowie. What's the song name? You know it.
You
Queen.
I probably know it, but you're basically telling me every great chorus is stolen. I'm joking.
No, because I never listened to Queen. I never listened to David Bowie. Never, like ever. And there is a part, I don't know which is this. I can't remember. And the song goes, and on the half, David Bowie starts to sing, and I swear the melody goes, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what the fuck? I honestly don't listen to Queen or David Bowie especially, but I think, our brains function, everything what we see, hear and feel, it goes inside, but we cannot access everything. So I don't know, maybe I heard something. Okay, so never mind, let's go back to the Nerve. And I sent this chorus to Marko, and I told him, okay, listen to this. is this a problem? And he was like, no, it's it's faster. And I sent it to our studio guy in Rijeka, Matej Zec, who plays the guitars for Let 3, and he recorded the songs that we did in the studio, and I played them and explained them, and he was like listening, and he was like, come on, man, no one will figure out. It's not a. But
now the cat is out of the bag. Now you said it. Now everybody will figure it out.
Not everybody will hear it, okay? And I hope everybody will become a fan of Blind Guardian.
but that's
and Kryn.
But see, that's very interesting and you wanted him to sing on that chorus.
No, I wanted him to sing on When Heroes Fall.
Oh, When Heroes Fall, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, different song.
It would have been funnier if you asked him for the nerve. Maybe that's why he said no.
Yeah.
You're like, can you sing the same thing again?
Okay, this sounds familiar. Okay, let's go back to Rewind. So here's the thing. I made a song with the exact same notes. And when I became aware of it, I was like, okay, the same notes are here. Let's not change that. Let's make it a thing. So if the reset is, so I'm speaking, I just have the rough arrangement, which was a bit different than now on the album, I will talk about it. So I had the rough arrangement and no lyrics, no melodies, no nothing. And I go, okay, if the reset is the first song, this will be the last song because it has same notes. And then my follow the leader brain. So if the Reset is the first one, and we agreed immediately, me and Marco, Reset were gonna be the first song because it has really like huge opening and it has 1 million plays, blah blah blah. Okay, and we were speaking. Okay, I was thinking if the Reset is gonna be the first song, then the last song will be this one because it has the same melody. And if the Reset, which you can pronounce called reset, like reset things over, then the last song will be Rewind. So I had a name of the song first, which is like really rare because I write the entire song and then naming the song is like the worst pain in the ass ever. It's the worst nightmare because I really want a cool, catchy name, and it's so. Usually I write the song and then I'm thinking about a name. So in this time I had the whole arrangement and the name Rewind because Reset and Rewind, and then I needed to figure out the theme, and I find it more easy when I have a song title, or for example when I write songs for other musicians, I find it more easy when I have something that I can come up with theme wise. So Rewind, it immediately how do I say, made like a scene where wherever I go I always end up in the same place, like something always hits the rewind button, so I cannot make progress, I'm stuck where I am. And then on the chorus I wish that the times could be better, the times could be like they were before when everything was nice. And so this is the time, this is the theme story of the song that came up exclusively just from the title Rewind, which I made because of the Reset. And then when the song was like in the making still, I was like, okay, so if this starts with the Reset and ends with Rewind, we gotta have the same melody. And then I just recorded the Reset melody with a bit with the Rewind riffs, and I sent it to Ante, who made the Queen like harmonized epic version of that ending of that song. So yeah, the album starts with the melody and ends with the melody, starts with Reset and ends with Rewind. So it's a kind of thematic play, how do I say,
a nice bow, as they say. You tied a nice bow onto the album.
Yes.
Perfect. So okay, cool. Like I think the whole it took its time to come together, but I think it came together in a very interesting way. And like there's multiple mixes. I don't know how many people know that there are multiple mixes on that album, so it's not like all the songs were done at the same time. They were done in different periods. Reset was done by Usher. Waters was also done by him, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And then you
Then
had The Shriven Heart.
Okay, so the Riven Heart was done by
Alisha.
who? Marco will know this, either by Usher again or by
I think it was Alisha.
Yeah, Alisha, right?
yeah,
Alisha Sig. Yeah.
So it's basically like songs from multiple like time periods. I would even say. Although I think you had some of the songs that are on the album. You had them written like during the time, because I think I remember Mario, while he was still in the band, some of the songs were already being kind of outlined.
Yeah. Actually, I would if I had a cell phone, but I don't because I'm recording with 10,000 things. The riff from Recharger, the intro riff is old. It's older than the first album, and we have a YouTube video where I play Ibanez Universe. My first time playing Ibanez Universe. Our first time visiting SM Music in Italy, which is like a gigantic place of musical equipment, and like we were like kids and we were like, oh man, look at all those guitars. And I remember we amped up Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier, Jam Universe, and I played that riff like 10 times faster. So yeah, that riff, also that intro riff, and that riff after that goes, and the verse, we had that even before the Scars Remind Me, and I think it was the Downfall era. So it was a time I discovered Periphery and Tesseract, and it was a time of MySpace, believe it or not.
Yes, MySpace and SoundClick. Remember SoundClick? Remember?
Yeah. I had MySpace, SoundClick.
Because all the stuff that Misha did before Periphery was like Periphery, the first album, he was posting his bulb on SoundClick, and we were all going like, oh my god, those are fake drums. Because he was programming.
Also, I remember,
like,
I think I was the first guy who somehow, I don't know how, discovered Periphery and Tesseract on MySpace. And Tesseract had just the demos, just snippets of songs soon to be released as Concealing Fate and whatever. And it was just like Akel's snippets with the old singer.
The old vocalist, before Dan. I don't remember his name. He was on April, I think. A song called April.
I don't remember, but I recently discovered a video of Slipknot performing with the old vocalist before Corey, and they are playing the Before I Forget riff. So it's a normal thing because we write riffs. Oh, it's a cool riff. We somehow put it aside, and then something new comes up, and then we revise the old. Oh, look, this is a cool riff. So yeah, I think every band does it. So it's a normal thing.
Yeah, for sure. So like, what are now that the album's out, the video's out, you have some gigs and everything.
Yeah.
You said the guys, so you're happy that they're like new members and everybody has a great energy, and you're writing on the new material. There's something in the works in terms of a cover. Is there like stylistically, do you feel like there's gonna be a change, or will it just be like maybe, you know, small changes rather than like a stylistic change for new stuff? Because Ante is very specific in his playing, I would say, and Josip on the other hand is also very specific in a different direction, and both of those directions don't sound like Kryn, especially if you listen to their projects and their bands. But like, what do you expect? Like a weird hybrid, or will it just be a completely new thing and you're open to anything? What are your thoughts? Like,
my thoughts, as well as Marco's thoughts, are we really want to incorporate all the guys in the music making process and writing, but we don't want to Kryn sound like another generic band. So we want to keep our thing, which is heavy guitars, vocals with, you know, emotion expression, epic choruses. So we want to retain all of this, and we want to, you know, add a icing on a cake. We want to add something that Ante can deliver, something that Josip can deliver, something that Rock can deliver. So, like you said, they're really stylistically different from Kryn, but I think it is just a plus. It's just an advantage because we can now, create something interesting. But we are not going to, take a completely different road. No, we're gonna stay on this road, but with few stops here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe write some songs that are more brutal. Who knows? Maybe write some more. I really want Ante to record, to write his thumping thing because it's cool. So we will try to incorporate it, but still maintain the sound of Kryn. And I think it will sound interesting.
So are the plans going forward? You mentioned Kryn 3 as like the third album. Do you intend of working towards the album, or do you feel like maybe singles, EPs? Is there like any plan for that, or do you just whatever happens?
I think for now it's just whatever happens. I made a decision, a promise to myself and Marco as well, that we are not going to make a break for 10 years like we did from Scars Remind Me to Risset. But there was a lot of things going on, work, life, personal problems, jobs. So yeah, it's hard to have a band here when you're living in Croatia because you need to have a day job and you need to earn money other ways, and then it takes the time that you want to put into the band. And we made a huge break with the band, but now we made a promise that we're not gonna do it. So we're with the Kryn tree, now it's the focus still is Risset and trying to promote it, and especially trying to find some booking agent or someone who can fix some show outside of Croatia, Europe, whatever, because audience wants it. We see that every day through comments, through Spotify listeners, and we just need the opportunity for someone to to fix us some festivals, some gigs, throughout Europe. And this is the main goal, promoting this album. But aside, like we are doing now with Discover, we are we will try to write here and there to maintain the productivity level and to figure out what is the best way to write the Kryn tree, because me and Marco live in Rijeka, Ante is in Zagreb, Rok is in Ljubljana, and Josip is in Čakovec, so scattered all over the place. So we need to find a way which is the most effective for writing new songs. So we will, try to play with that. So yeah, that's the plan for now. We actually don't have, a really big plan, but it's enough for now.
Oh, it's a starting plan. Okay.
Yeah, Risset got released like a month ago, so let's,
No, obviously I'm jumping down, going like, oh, when is the next album coming? That's just because I listened to the songs for so long. No, I'm joking. So based on like this release, how was the feedback like in general? I know that I mentioned this like, I think before the video, because we wanted to do this like last year before and kind of time it. But now you had actually the opportunity to see. So the album's out, the video's out. You had the first gig. What was the feedback like specifically for the whole album and for the video? Because you did a new music video for the Nerve, like that was the first single. And what was the response like outside of maybe not just the fans that already followed you, but I think you kind of gained a lot of new people that you didn't have before with this release.
Yeah, I think we did. The response was beyond what we could imagine. Somehow I knew the people will like it because they didn't hear anything from us for a long period of time, and they were waiting. People were surprised. Oh, you're still playing? And you will hear a new album and you will be surprised. And Yeah, so the comments were and reactions were like really good, starting from releasing the album. So everyone, the comments usually are that the album is compact. It has a more mature sound. The songs are great. Then the Nerve, the single, the video, also great response, and then the live show, also everything. So practically we needed like 100 people to be completely sold out venue. So it was like everything is going great and much better than we expected. And we really are thankful for that, for people that listening to the album and enjoying the album. And it's great for me to hear that every person has his own favorite song. So for example, we had a discussion which song are we gonna record a video for, and there were a lot of, because when the album was done, we had it before it was released, and I tried to send it to some friends who are in music, who can listen to it and give some advice and see which song maybe is the best. So we had like a really I think the Nerve was not on the list. On the list were like Recharger. On the list was When Heroes Fall, and on the list maybe Rewind. But we wanted to make a statement because we didn't, we were like being silent for so long, and I think we wanted to the first single to be the fastest song, the maybe the most heavier, I don't know, and so the people have the impact. Oh, okay, wow, this is the new Kryn. We didn't want for the first single to be the mellow thing, but now for the second video we will see.
Do you have like any top secret information?
No, because we need to first figure out our budget and see how recording a new video fits our budget, because having a band is as expensive as fuck. So
yes.
Yeah,
the so-called Rufa bez dna.
Yes, so we need to figure the budget first, and then. But I think it will be wise to release a second video, and I don't know. What do you think? Which song?
I think I checked out your stats on Spotify, because you can see what the most listened thing is, and from left field, Rewind climbed to the top spot, right? Yep. So and I think I think Marco, while we were mixing, I think Marco said when you changed the intro, because the intro was different in the beginning, then you added the chorus, and when I think he had the idea, or you, I don't know, when you were at Alan's place, and then you sent me a snippet, and I was like, yeah, this sounds good, that is doable, we can just cut the drums and move it, that's going to be fine. And I think Marco said, this is the song, like this is the chorus, this has to be the single. And I think he was right, because that seems to be the most played song at the moment. So
the thing behind the Rewind arrangement was this. So I didn't record. Yeah, I started to record Rewind in Alan Brentini's home studio, and it somehow didn't work out because I don't know. The studio is better because I am, isolated and alone with my head. Never mind. So, but when we played the Rewind in whole, Alan was the guy who told, "This is a fucking great chorus. Why wouldn't you start the song with it?" And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Okay, listen to this." And I'm lying. The first idea was that we have some kind of an intro for Rewind, different intro than the one that is on the album, like some creepy blah blah. And we made a different intro, and then was the idea that intro stops or something, and then the chorus hits, bam, like it's on the album. And then we didn't like that other intro, and we was like, okay, let's keep the same intro, and then when the riff stops, the punchline, and we really liked it because it's, you know, immediately in the face.
Yeah.
You have a preview and you know what to expect. That was what I wanted to say. Okay, so yeah, the Alan Brentini was the one responsible for this idea, which we kept, and I think it would be a great. I remember Marco's comment when we released the album, and every now and then I play it, and I'm texting the guys, man, this is the great song. We made a great thing. So I'm really, every now and then, I'm amazed with how the songs sound. And this is, for me, this is cool because I really enjoy my songs. I don't know, I think there are some, bands who or writers who don't listen to their own stuff. I really enjoy what we create, and I tell my guys every now and then. So I think, Rewind would be a great video, but it has really an epic chorus. I think the video will need to be expensive. I don't know. We will see.
High budget movie, maybe Dune 3 for Rewind.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, yeah. So
my friend Michael, for example, when I played him, he's the singer of Former Father, now Chasing Nord, also a great musician. He told me when we didn't release the album and we didn't record a video yet, he told me, if you do not put Recharger as a single, you're fools. Because he explained, the Recharger has the epic chorus, he has the mellow voice parts, and he thinks, I think he's right, the people love to hear my mellow voice, not just my harsh and screams. So Recharger is the one song that is not negative. It's the only song on the album that is has a positive vibe. So
and four drops in a row, I think. 4 sub drops in a row. Yes.
Yeah, love sub drops. Recharger, maybe. I think the options are, but also then again, Nowhere Home. Come on, Josip. The favorite song on the album for Josip is Nowhere Home, and Nowhere Home also has a great chorus, and it has a great middle part.
Yes,
so
the build up on that song is insane.
I remember, right? So my room for 3 a.m. I'm in my down phase, so I'm fucked up, and I'm at the computer, and I just go. This is how I write riffs. So I grab the guitar. I grab now I will show you. I grab our custom Kryn picks with our autographs. So you can when we put out the website, the merch, you can order it. So this is me writing a riff like this, and just doing this, okay? And I was like this, and I was like, okay, and immediately that dark place get away. And I remember I wrote the entire middle part that day from 3 a.m. until 5 a.m. And I was like so hyped because I knew it's gonna sound epic in the song, and it ended up in Nowhere Home. So this song is also great for me, and really I don't know which one to pick for the best song.
I have a solution. Get a big budget and just do videos for every song.
I would, if I had money, I would do it like this, because bands who have like a manager or financial support, I don't know, or who are rich, do that, and it's cool because I am firm believer that fans want to see video, because fans want to see the band, want to see the performance, want to see the emotion behind the verses, behind the riffs. So I think the fans want to see the music videos. Unfortunately, they're a bit expensive if you want to make a good video. So we need to, put it on a scale and see what fits our budget or not. But I think we need to record one more video because the hype is real.
The pressure's on. The pressure's on. Yeah, so kind of to close it out, I'm gonna ask you one thing that I think was the most important thing that one could have asked you, and that is, are you satisfied with the low end on this album?
Yes, but there is always space for improvement. Okay, to explain a broad audience, I'm the guy who is always wanting more low end, more balls. So I think we did a good job. I think you did a good job.
I think we went through all the amp sims I had, and then we landed back on the first one, which was Nolly.
Yeah.
That's what
I think we made a mistake recording-wise, so this process was also cool for learning our mistakes and what not to do on the Kryn tree. So with that being said, I think the Kryn tree will sound even better than this one, so we will see. But I'm satisfied with the low end. I'm really satisfied with production, although there were some comments that say that the production on the first album was like also great, to some maybe even better, but that's, every person has his own taste of what sounds good to him. I'm really satisfied, and the thing I'm satisfied the most is that I see, the graph is going like this with Kryns. So the first album was great songs, and I'm always scared. I don't know if other artists are, I think they are. I'm always scared because when I wrote, for example, And There the Scars Remain, I was so scared that I won't be able to write such a good chorus, ever. And I was like, okay, I will stop. And then you just need to forget it. You just need to put everything out, and new cool choruses are coming along. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm really satisfied because I see that the sound, that the lyrics, my vocals, everything is like going in upward direction, and that's cool. That's important.
I agree. I love the first.
Also, you mentioned it. You mentioned it way back. The live setting. Also, I think the band needs to be interesting live. For example, one example is Sleep Token. Okay, everybody's going nuts with Sleep Token. I think it's half of this is because of they look interesting. People don't know who they are. They have a great live setup, great live lighting. So I think the band needs to have all this, to bring people to their music, because
there has to be a visual component to it. It has to be like when somebody says I want to be like Pantera, it's like, yes, but that was their visual component. Yes. They looked like that because that was them. Everybody who tries to look like that is immediately like, but you look like Pantera now. Yeah. So, I agree.
That is the comment when people don't want to, have outfits on stage. Oh, look at the Pantera. Pantera is Pantera. Name me one band that are going on stage in like, military shorts and without shirts and, bare feet. Non-existent, because even if they exist, they're not in the top, the top of the world. So the band needs to have its own music expression and visual expression. So
I agree.
That's important. And we are aiming for everything, for the sound and for the visual, appearance live. So we will see what we will come up to. The thing that I can mention is we have a promotion in Rijeka, and we really want to bring something more interesting regarding lights. So we will have like we had the first promotion of Scars Remind Me, we also had some like projections and something like this. So we are figuring out now what to do with lights and to be even more interesting. So yeah, I'm the guy who always, thinks what can we do to make it better, to make it more interesting for the people and for us, because being on that stage in Vintage was like, whoa, the smoke is coming up, the lights, even though the smoke, like the comments were from the people that it was too much smoke, but because it's a small venue and the air conditioning, blah, blah, blah. But when you have a cool setting on the stage, then you feel better, performing because you're in the zone. So yeah, we'll always try to. I'm the guy who pushes, and the Marco, and that's why we work great in a band, because I'm the guy who says, yeah, we're gonna do blah, 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 blah. I want this, and the Marco says, no, we don't need it, we don't have money, blah, blah, blah. And then we meet in the middle.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
The evening out, yeah, that's cool.
Shout out to Marco. Because he's not here, and he's a really big part of this band as well. So
I know what he would say. He would be very grateful to be in the video, and he would say that Second is his favorite song. So that's the only thing we need to mention.
Marco's favorite song is Second on the first album, and on the second album also Second.
Yes, great. So outside of that promotion, I've heard rumors, or I've seen rumors that there is a vinyl coming as well.
Oh yeah, I don't know what is the deal with the vinyls. It's like they're being made in, I don't know, Mars. So I don't know, it's because of the lack of the material, Corona, I don't know, but you need to wait for approximately 3 months for vinyls to be, printed out. So we are still waiting, and we are still waiting for the date when they are gonna be done. I think I will have a test copy soon. So yeah, we are, hopefully they will be done until Rijeka promotion. We have a limited edition vinyls in the making. So a good souvenir, of course.
Yes, I want.
And they will look awesome.
I want one, please. Can I have one?
Yeah. And now Marco will say, Marco is the guy who's always like I'm the too positive.
Yeah.
On the outside, and Marco is the negative one. So he's like, the vinyls, who's gonna buy them anyways? And I like constantly get every now and then messages, okay, will there be vinyls? Say one for me. So I think the people will buy them because they are going to look cool, because Marco did he found that it will be like translucent with some red and black splattering, so it will be like really cool, and inside it will be the pictures of the covers of the singles. So yeah.
Did you get any questions for cassettes? Because I've had some artists that ask me for cassettes, and I'm like, what? Why?
No, but I'm well aware that the cassettes are now obviously the thing. Yeah, really, the bands. I saw a couple of bands printing on the cassettes.
Yeah.
I think it's just for the memorabilia, because who owns a cassette player?
I don't even own a CD player, so
I don't even have a gramophone, and I'm soon to get my test print. I don't know where to listen to
on
it.
your finger and just roll it.
Yeah. So yeah. That's it was really nice talking to you, and a good podcast you have. Cheers with my coffee today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time, and like I think that I got answers to some questions that I had that, although we know each other, I never asked you. And the other thing is, I think like I feel there's a positive vibe coming currently of the Kryn camp, which I think is very positive. Yeah. Like in general, because there are a lot of bands that I know, especially since we're both like from Croatia, that existed and they had like potential and they had like even albums and great shows, and they just kind of stopped. And there are multiple reasons why they stopped, be it, financial, family, somebody moved away, whatever. And it's always kind of a shame that I think there's a way, like if you really love what you're doing, in this case, our type of music, metal, heavy metal, whatever, you don't have to be like like you said, you had like a period, everybody was gone, there was no band members, but you were still kind of, you never went like, oh, this is it, I'm just gonna do my day job, this is it. It has to come out, and I think that's like a very positive, message and vibe that you are actually kind of spreading, in my opinion, because that band has existed, I think you said 2004 was the first gig or something like that?
Yeah, I think 2004 or 2005 was the first gig.
So that's 20 years, and you're still there, and now it's kind of ramping up, which is great.
So when we speak about how long Kryn exists, actually it was Downfall. It was a really totally different, outfit, completely different. So actually Kryn exists, I think from 2010. Marco will know these facts. I can't remember shit. So it bothers me because 20 years bands that are now famous have been together like for 10 years and they're now famous and not famous. They're now
successful.
Do this for a living. That's what I want to put. Not fame, but they're like can't make a living out of it.
Yeah,
pretty much. And we exist like forever, and we're still struggling. But on the other hand, like you said, and I also talked with Marco. We like went through some really rough periods where basically we were like family, 4 of us, Rade, Igor, Marco, and I, and then we split up, and then Igor left, and then Rade was playing, and then Rade left, and we had like tons of guitarists, drummers, and for me and Marco was like really nerve-wracking because it really puts a ton of energy out of you because you need to do everything in circle. One guitar player, I give my best to explain and then it doesn't work. Then another, so we were like, okay. Literally, we were like, this is our last chance. If this thing, new album Risset, don't work out, I don't know what we're gonna do. And it worked out. So the point I wanted to say is that whatever happens, so literally, if the God Almighty now, comes to me and say, your band sucks, you will never succeed, you need to stop doing it and just focus on your day job or whatever, I would say, okay, yeah. And then I would still write music and still, I will still have the spark that, something will happen. And just, me and Marco, we need to get it out, to write music and to express ourselves, and that's it. So I think we're gonna do it if the sky falls. So that's the message to all the people. If you really feel something, go for it, no matter what.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect way to end the show. Thank you for taking the time once again, and I wish you all the success, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So thank you for your time, and talk soon.
And ciao. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure talking to you, and see you on our daily chat basis.
Sure thing. Awesome.
Thanks to all the fans out there who are supporting band in any way. Thank you, and see you live somewhere. That's the goal.
Awesome.